Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, doing well. Midweek D&D session. Glad we got to squeeze it in there. And we are long overdue for a Dicing with Death, right?
It's
It's
been a
been a while.
while. Yeah. Um,
I, I
we don't have Layla's beautiful recaps anymore, so we'll
I
give you
know.
guys a recap in a
We
bit.
we have to remember what happened last time.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Uh, but we did just play Fro a couple days ago. So
Frozen Frontier,
hasn't been
yes.
that long since the
Yeah. I don't think we need to do
first.
any how's life updates.
No,
You're
I
busy
do have to
working.
say I was so wrong about the temperature in Seattle. Sean was like 93 degrees. I was like, no, it was 90. It hit 90. Hit
Eh,
93 this past weekend.
Oh, how fun.
Like right after Frozen Frontier. Like I don't know if why
Like
would you?
went outside
But
after Frozen Frontier and the heat was oppressive and just like boiling
yes.
you.
This is why I hide in my basement, play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
It's,
Oh, very cool. So what happened last time? There was something
yeah,
about druids and hunting and a Dobachu.
yeah, it's all a bit of a blur now, right? I mean, in the wee hours of the morning at let me see if I can remember the name of these places. Because you are currently well, I mean, we can. I mean, time is flexible here. We can fast forward to the next morning to the hangover. But
Mm-hmm.
we last left Leon uh, drunk off the spoils of victory in what is the name of this town? This tavern. I know I probably don't have it written. Okay, I need to kind of look.
Mufford? Mumford? Traveler's
No,
Den? No.
those are places where Leon has been. Glenberg.
Ah, Glenbert. This is the honeybee.
The Honeybee is the name of the tavern, yeah, and that's where you
Excellent.
are currently partying into the wee hours of the morning. I think you've been buying. I feel. Have you been buying people drinks? You at least were buying
My
your
companion.
hunting, your hunters, your guides drinks.
Right, and I
A
think
pair of okay. Do you want to yeah.
I was gonna say I think at the very end of that, one of them was like, "Yeah, I know where the druids are. They hang out at this place on the night of the full moon, for like a big full moon party or something."
Uh, yeah. So that came out in over the course of this, which I think is where we sort of still are. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's all a little hazy. You got this information sort of out of a drunken. I think it was Beshmel. So the two brothers who were guiding you, I think, were Beshmel and Beshmel or something like that. Bechamel and Bechamel, a
Yes.
pair of brothers hunters. Bechamel, the bearded, and Bechamel, a little more terse, and yeah. I don't know if we've seen the last of them, so
Okay.
we can remind ourselves as that becomes necessary. But it was Bechamel who you applied at drinks and you got this information out of him. I don't remember what you were specifically looking for. Maybe you can remind me, but I mean, you somehow.
I was just trying to find out how to find the druids
Well,
because
you had no. This is. I mean, the druids came out of this.
right.
This came out of this drunk garment. Like you asked them once, you're like, "Hey, are there any wizards or something?" I don't know what you were. Are there any hedge wizards or I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what you came looking for. I don't know, hunting witches in the woods. And at first they were suspicious. They're like, no, there's no magic around here. There's no magic around here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, third time's a charm, and some celebratory post elk drinks. So
Mm-hmm.
tell us about the elk that
The
you
what?
got down.
The
The elk.
elk.
Yeah, are you eating that right now? Have you claimed its antlers? Why don't we roll um let's test out the roll 20 dice.
Hmm. What are we rolling for here?
6 the number of points on your antlers.
Oh,
6 point, not too impressive.
no, it's a younger elk, but
Mhm.
still, for Leon's first hunt, that's not bad.
No, and I think a non-proficient archer. I
Mm-hmm.
think maybe you've never even shot a bow before, but you took it
Yeah.
down in a couple shots.
Yeah. So I think the The elk
Has
I'm
that
gifting
been-
to the brothers, right? Because I'm here on a hunting for the sport of it. I don't really care about the elk. I don't have anywhere to put it, so I think I gave it to them.
Okay, yeah, and I think
horns and
maybe
all.
you sold it off to the bar. Did that happen? How much gold do you have?
I have 120 gold.
Okay, yeah, so you're sitting flush. I think
Yeah.
the whole town is. I totally need to cue up some music.
Uh,
That's. Are we done with recap? Do you have,
Yeah, we're
more
done with recap.
backstory you wanna?
no, I don't think there's anything else we need to do.
Sort of a meandering back and forth.
Yeah.
Sort of gap. But tonight it's not the slaughtered ox; it's the slaughtered elk.
Oh.
Here at the Honeybee.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, everyone is eating and drinking on the house tonight.
Ah.
Well, you might. I mean, you might be the house, right?
Okay, I'm the house. Got it.
But yeah, a party in your honor. And I think we breeze over. I mean, unless there's anything else you want to. Where do you want to pick up?
I'd like to pick up
Is there anything
the
more
next morning, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as I said, in the hangover, the aftermath, everyone's gone. You probably you don't know how you got back up to your room last night, but somehow you made your way to your bed.
I immediately.
And actually, yeah.
I immediately kind of sniff around and look for signs of sick that might have been left on my floor or my bed or a bucket nearby.
Did it get that out of hand?
I don't know. That's why it's hazy. I don't remember how I got upstairs, and when you don't remember how you got to bed, that's always a thing you need to check for.
All right.
Is this a con check moment?
You can get your dice warm on rolls that don't matter if you'd like.
Yeah. Okay.
Except
22
for us.
22. I think that means Leon did not hurl last night.
Yeah. Did anyone? Yeah. No one else would have hurled on.
Yeah.
Maybe downstairs. Maybe in the common room.
Yeah. Hopefully not in my room.
All right. So I assume, take it you memorize spells and then head downstairs?
Yeah. I don't know if complete rest counts for being hungover.
You're fine.
Okay,
right.
cool.
You passed your con check. I mean, yeah.
Oh, right. So I will memorize.
So it's probably 9 or 10 in the morning or whatever for you to have gotten the full rest. But
right, I'll memorize a Fist of Stone and a Shocking Grasp. Because I only have 2 spell slots to use.
Are you wounded at all?
I am 18 out of 18.
18 HP, that's right.
Yeah, 2 9s or an 8 and a 10 or something. Yeah. Lucky. Mm-hmm. No way I would survive without that much HP.
All right, and you head downstairs to a now deserted common room. Flashbacks of the night before come to you, but it's it's being cleaned up. I mean, there's still I don't know,
tables and chairs,
evidence of the
spilled
of the night before.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
Okay, Leon will flag down someone, order breakfast. Whatever they're serving, Leon's eating. He's not too particular.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, God, what's a good morning after drink? Some orange juice. Yeah.
Okay.
And some orange juice. Then he's gonna sit and think to himself about how he's going to do the things he needs to do.
Okay, well, there's no orange juice in this pub. Get your shit together, Neal. And you can have,
They don't even have orange juice for making mixed drinks.
Mixed drinks? What is this? Is this Manhattan and the
look? Leon comes from a city.
Century?
Leon comes from a city where there is
or Florida,
where there are
That's actually probably true.
Yeah.
In Seagate, you probably could have walked into any old tavern and ordered oranges, but no.
Yeah.
You can have beer with your fresh elk mince.
Yeah. It strikes
Elk and
Leon as
potatoes.
strange, but I think he
And they
pieces
put
together.
corn in with the potatoes.
Oh,
What
that's
is
good. Yeah, I'll take that.
okay?
Corn
Fine,
and potatoes?
fine.
Yeah, that sounds great. Double
All
my
right.
starches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's probably beer, or water,
Beer it is
maybe
then.
whiskey, or
No, no
but
whiskey.
there's no.
No orange juice.
No.
All right.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will sip my beer, eat
There's
my potatoes and corn, and think about how I'm going to find these druids. They told me they were to the north, I think. There were druids in the north, and there's some sort of full moon party. Just have to find out where the party is. It's
Mhm.
probably not actually a party, but that's a good way to think about it for Leon. Um, Sort of druidic holy site, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is Leon wants to get like a crude map of the area. So maybe one of the serving girls or boys or someone who's cleaning up the room, like one of the lower people in this establishment, the low ranking folks. I want to flag one of them over and kind of like smush my potatoes down and flatten them out the top, and then use my knife or my fork or something to sort of draw a map of the area and kind of be like, so maybe that's not a good color to use.
So we're okay. Roll a cooking check for me to us to manufacture a writing surface out of your fried potatoes.
What? A cooking check for that?
Okay, a dex check at -5.
What? Cooking's int based.
Okay,
What do
sure,
you?
sure, sure. In check at -5. Cook. I don't think cooking isn't. I
Oh,
think
maybe it
your
is.
rules check, but I don't care.
I don't
You
know.
can
Okay,
roll
it's
it.
26. All right, I've smoothed out my
Okay,
mashed potatoes.
you mashed. They weren't mashed. You have to
Oh,
mash.
oh, they weren't mashed. Okay, sorry, I
No,
just instantly
they were
thought
like
mashed potatoes.
chunks of fried
Oh,
potatoes.
okay, okay.
So you take your fork and mash them. Call the waitress over. I won't make
Yeah.
you roll a charisma check.
Um,
And you ask her to sketch in the
well, no. So like,
potato.
I'll draw to begin with. I'll be like, so here's the river, here's the coastline, and we're here, right? Where are the big rivers? And then I, hand her a knife or a fork for her to draw in my mashed potatoes where the major rivers
Uh,
are.
I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna. She's not gonna draw on your mashed potatoes
All right. Well, if
that
she will
easily.
gesture or,
I'm even. So she's kind of looking at your map like I'm looking at your map. Uh, what's is there? Nah.
all right, if this is the
What's
ocean out this way, I say,
sir? I'm not sure if you realize this, but those are potatoes. Are you painting a picture?
look at
I'm
her.
sorry, I didn't understand.
Miss, I'm just trying to figure out where the closest rivers are and in which direction they go and how they get to the ocean.
River's that away, and she like points some physical direction.
Is that in the direction of the ocean?
No, she considers, and she can point you the direction of the ocean if you give her a second, but they're not
Uh,
necessarily the same direction.
Fine. I just kind of need to get my bearings. I don't
Yeah. So
understand visually where, like, I.
yeah, your waitress is not qualified to deliver cartography advice. We can continue to role play the shenanigans. She can point you directions
Okay.
of like geograph. I mean, like
Yeah, I just want to figure
she's
out.
probably from here. She probably
So is the ocean to the west of us presently? Or
correct.
okay,
Yeah.
so I've adjusted my map hopefully appropriately.
Yeah, no one is. DM's disclaimer: no one is fact checking your mashed potatoes, or at least not. You can continue questing around town for a mashed potato cartographer, but
Okay.
as of yet, I'm not
I just
verifying
want to
your
know which direction
details.
the closest river is, and whether it
Yeah.
runs towards the ocean or parallel to the ocean.
Here we are. Sorry, I changed away from my map and then back towards it. So the inn. I mean, I don't know how the inn is geographically oriented, but yeah, we can talk. Do you have direction sense?
No, but I just need to know relative to the ocean. So if she says the ocean's to
Okay,
the
so
right,
you don't know which way is north, and I don't know that the. I mean, I guess maybe the waitress would generally know that north is towards Seagate.
right.
I don't know, and she can point river and ocean as opposite walls
Okay,
of
so
the
then
inn.
there's a river that travels this direction, it looks like.
Yeah. So yeah, ocean is west, and so maybe you and her are able to work out which way is north with a quick. You're a sharp cookie, and she
Right.
lives here. So yeah,
Okay.
she can point you north and
And then I
east. I
will
mean, the
ask her.
river, but she's pretty uncomfortable in this hole. I mean, you got 5 charisma, right?
I've got 5 charisma and I'm pointing at my mashed potatoes, but that's okay. I don't mind if she feels uncomfortable around him. Um,
Sure.
so Leon goes, thank you, and reaches into his pocket and shells out like a handful of copper coins. And then one last question: does the river meet the ocean in the north or in the south? What direction does the river flow?
Uh, the river flows to the lake. Well, there's lots of rivers and lots of oceans, but our river
Uh huh.
goes to the lake.
Is that a north or a southward lake? Is the lake
Uh,
closer to Seagate than we are?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
About Ashlock, about 2 days that way. I think you'll be able to. I mean, she's referring to the lake that you were at. Well, a couple days
Right,
ago.
and it's dawning on Leon that Ashlock is right next to the lake. Yeah? The
Yeah,
lake that. Okay. So Leon's kind of piecing
your
together
mashed
the geography of the place.
your mashed potatoes are getting more detailed.
Okay.
Um,
I thank her, and I reach into my pocket and shell out another handful of copper coins. I'm
actually,
just gonna,
yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna roll
You
3d30 for the copper that she gets total.
yeah, roll an it check for me.
25.
Okay. You will realize that the river was flowing. You were walking along the flow of the river since you've left the town of Ashlock.
I've been walking with the flow of the river.
Oh no, never mind. Scratch that. Against the flow. Okay, yeah. So,
Okay.
so the waitress did have it right.
Okay, so the river does
You were
go
walking
north.
against the flow. It flows towards Ashlock, and then yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. That's what I
Yeah.
need to know. So Leon dismisses the waitress after he pays her 29 copper, which I think is probably a pretty damn good wage for her.
2 silver. It's a healthy tip. Especially for I mean
For a waitress, she probably makes like a
yeah,
couple silver a day at most.
if that. Yeah. No,
Yes.
no, she would have to. Yeah, yeah. That sounds like a probably that you probably. I mean, here at breakfast, you basically tipped her what she would expect to make in a day. Like if she
Yeah.
wasn't,
All right.
I don't know,
Cool.
this guy's indentured servant or how whatever they're.
Look, I'm not getting involved in that shit.
Yeah,
But it's
she
a.
wasn't. She'd. I mean, if she were an entrepreneur, she would. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Take off. Be like, well, closing up shop. 2 silver.
Yeah. So
I,
just I want to make sure she feels well rewarded, and if I need to ask her any questions in the future, that she'll be more receptive to this discussion. So I'm satisfied with the tipping here. Now Leon thinks while he looks at his mashed potatoes and kind of he sets a piece of corn where we are now, and he sets a piece of corn where the lake is and where Ashlock is. And he holds his fourth piece of corn, and tries to examine his ridiculously crude map and try, like, where would a holy druidic site be? They said it was north towards Seagate. River would be, or lake would be the spot, but Ashlock right next to it. I don't know if that's actually where the druids would want to hang out. That could be too close to civilization. Must hang out west of the lake somewhere. How am I gonna get there? Maybe I should go back to Ashlock and ask them? Or maybe it's not that far north? I need more information.
So the way the way you got this, the way you got this information, you got the impression that that this was dangerous stuff to be talking about, right? It took you like three, like you asked these brothers several times, and they were super dodgy about the subject of
they were not excited to discuss it.
And you're pretty sure that that like Hufschmid doesn't know that you know, right, about this druidic circle.
Right, Beshmel told me, but Hufschmid
Mm-hmm. You waited till like Hufschmid was off, like doing, I don't know, taking a leak or something, and then.
So Leon has devised a strategy. Rather than asking directly about where druids are, he's going to ask indirectly where they are by asking about where are, like, maybe he's going to pretend to want to take the off-road journey and then ask around for, like, the places to avoid. And if the people... rather than walking...
Off-road... Oh heavens, no! No, the server would not even consider going into the woods. Like, to her, that's like are you trying to get yourself killed? She will tell you that, like, I mean, there are those. I mean, she'll probably mention by name your hunting guys, and I mean, she would know that you just came back from a hunt in the woods.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah. So, in fact, to her, you're probably more of an expert on. I mean, like maybe go a little ways in to gather firewood or.
Yeah. All right. So I think maybe this person is no longer going to be of use to me. I think I'm going to have to find.
All right. Thank you for that insight into Leon's.
Yeah, Leon's like, all right, this waitress, she's exhausted her knowledge of life. Sort of. This is why she's a waitress in a tavern. If she was intelligent or had her shit together, she'd probably move on, but whatever. Leon does not have a high regard for other people.
And you wonder why you have trouble getting information.
I mean, he's got 5 charisma, right? So this is this is the viewpoint of a 5 charisma person. Is this waitress is now worthless to me?
Yeah, you get she could tell you get the. I don't know. Yeah, fine, whatever. That's the end. You close the dialogue box. You're done. You seem to have offended her, and she storms off into the kitchen.
Leon wonders for a moment if he said out loud that she's done, that she's used her.
It's not until the kitchen door is closed that you look down and you realize that she has taken away your plate of mashed potatoes. Like, it was like you'd emptied the dish except for the mashed potatoes.
Oh no!
Throwing in the potatoes and poking them around. You're done with it. And, I mean, you might be able to go run into the kitchen after her, screaming about your mashed potatoes, but you probably think better of it.
Maybe. But Leon is a thug. Like, his backstory is that of an enforcer who's used to breaking bones and pissing people off. So let's see. Willpower check. No, he holds it in check. He's already murdered a couple of people. He's just got to keep a low profile. But you can maybe see his knuckles whitening on the table as he realizes she stole his mashed potatoes. It's his favorite food, man. Okay. All right. Leon gets up, finishes his beer, and he's going to go look for Hufschmid.
Yeah, you're able to find the brothers sort of camped on the outskirts of town, like setting to work tanning the elk hide, or maybe where they've got like a fire made up in there. Yes.
Okay.
Processing the hide, probably along with others. Like they got their little hunting camp on the
Sure.
town.
I'll stroll over, and just kind of stand awkwardly above them until they speak to me.
They nod a greeting.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure hunting with you. Think I'm gonna go for a walk, stretch my legs, head up north for a few days. Take the road less traveled, head through the woods. Is there any place I should avoid? Anything that's too dangerous out there? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Veshamel speaks first, looking at you sternly, and says, "Yes, the woods are very dangerous. You should probably consider hiring a guide." Somewhat disdainfully. I don't know if you're social grazers or not, but it's like you come to these guys that make their living navigating through the wilderness, and you're like, "Hey, so yeah, what information could you give me for free?"
Yes. Yeah, maybe Leon picks up on that a little bit, and says, "Well, how much what is your rate?"
I mean, you would know. You had them hired for like 2 days, right? So what were you? I think you were paying them a gold each a day or something like that.
Cool. So,
and except maybe, I don't remember what you subtracted. You may have even gotten money out of the deal because I think you guys sold off the elk.
Oh, right. I think I made some sort of bet with them that I would kill a deer before they did.
You're not sure. Yeah. So there was. I mean, so yeah. Everyone came out of the hunt pretty well off.
All right,
I don't know. You're not sure exactly how it broke down, but you guys are in good enough graces.
I'll pull out a couple of copper coins, gold coins, and rub them between my fingers for a little bit. Say, okay, well, I like to go alone, but maybe you could give me guidance now?
Sure thing, says Bechamel, like standing up from the other side of the camp.
Right.
He comes over, he takes the gold coins, pushes his brother out of the way and steps closer to you.
Yeah, I will recreate
where are you trying to get?
I'll recreate my mashed potatoes map
and you draw it in the sand.
Yeah. So this is kind of where we are, and this is the lake, and this is Ashlock. I'm thinking about heading up north, kind of just meandering. I'm hoping to avoid any sort of, anything too sketchy up there.
Well,
any hill folk I should be worried about?
This is all pretty sketchy. No hill folk. There's a river you'd run into. And hill folk. No, but the forests have their.
Well, if I wanted to avoid any, what's a forest creature?
The forests have their. I would stick to the road around.
But let's just pretend for a moment here that I was a man that was looking for some fresher air than what you can find on the road. I guess if there's no hill folk, then what are forest creatures? Fey folk? Sure, whatever. Where would I go to avoid the Fey folk?
He looks over his shoulder to his brother. I'm gonna roll
Uh-oh. Leon might have made a faux pas here by even mentioning Fey folk.
Yeah. So Veshmel, I overheard. I mean, like he'd be past his perception check. He heard you mention Fey, and Veshmel's like, I don't know. I think he he stands up. Things get a little awkward. Like, listen. You can take your gold. Then he gives you the two gold back. Maybe you you're better. Maybe you're better off sticking to the roads. You shouldn't. And he looks over at his brother. You should go. You should go.
I take the gold and I walk away. Let me see how many days of rations I have. 2.5 days of rations. And this map is totally to scale, right, Ryan? It's 12 feet to the ocean?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm going to swing by some sort of store if they have one here, or the tavern if they don't, and buy another 3 days of food.
Yeah, you can find a market. Roll a perception check. If your charisma were better, I'd give you that as an option as well.
No. Natural 3, modified 14. No.
All right. You're fine. Yeah, you can go to the back into town to the market and buy whatever at not the market, some kind of general supply store. You want rations? You can even go back to the inn and like get them.
Yeah, I don't need like trail rations.
Food.
I just need like a couple loaves of bread, some apples, maybe a pear, a little bit of cheese, some nuts.
So for 3, you
hard-boiled egg, whatever.
I think
is it like
so let's say 6 silver can get you
6 silver for 2 days or 6 silver a day? What is it?
A silver a pound, let's say.
Okay.
Of ration.
Perfect. And Leon's 5-10. He's gonna eat 3 pounds of food a day, I guess, for if it's fresh food. So that's 3, 6, 9 silver. He dishes out. I'll just hand him a gold.
You're gonna grow Leon fat.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna get a paunch at this rate. Yeah.
Okay. I'll pay with the gold and take my silver change.
I gotta stay on top of my. I am dropping the ball with my tabletop audio tracks.
Well, it's okay. I have been making up for it by just playing my own music in the background.
Oh, really?
Yes,
to chat.
Yes.
To chat.
Yeah,
so it doesn't even matter what I do.
No, it does, because if you want to set the mood, then I will stop playing what I think is the appropriate mood music.
Okay.
So you can delegate.
Whatever. I would have done like a campsite through the brothers scene, and I would.
See, that probably would have been better. I did Rivertown.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. There's no. Is there a river here?
Probably not.
There's a. I mean, I think it's some miles to the river. Sure. But we're still in a town. That's fine. I'll let you keep DJing because apparently you're less negligent than I.
Yeah, that's fine. It's difficult to DM and DJ at the same time. All right, so I'm gonna head north. I've got my food, and I'm going to do my best. I don't have any sort of direction sense or wilderness skills. Leon's a city boy. He's never really been in the woods other than this one hunting trip that they just did.
Yeah,
so for him, it's kind of like the woods. What the fuck could be out there? Like, the real danger is in the city. He's probably underestimating the troubles he's going to encounter. But he's going to head as northwesternly as he can and find this river right here. Leon's thinking that the holy site... If there's druids and they've got a holy site, it's probably near water. So it's probably along the coast or along this river, or maybe where the river meets the coast. And since no one else wants to say anything to him, that's going to be the first place he checks out.
Okay.
Unless he finds evidence along the way otherwise.
Okay, so you just came in from the north. You would have been at the lake like
a couple days ago, right?
It's less than a day's walk to the lake.
Okay.
You got from Ashlock to Glenberg in 1 day, I think.
Okay.
And you were journeying along like around the lake for the morning. Yeah, so maybe you head back to the lake over land. Is that what you're thinking? There's a road leading north out of town.
Right. Leon is specifically trying to avoid the road. His nervousness of the Goldsmiths Union is really getting to him.
Yeah. So you head back out the same entrance to town you came in on.
I was hoping to just head north through the woods, like just like head off trail. It might not be efficient, and he might run into problems that he can't overcome and have to go back to the road. But Leon
Mhm.
is he's new to this, so he's gonna try and just hoof it over
Okay,
untamed
so do you
ground.
want to? Okay, do you want to pick a general? Like, how do you? I mean, how do you orient yourself and move? Do you want me to roll a random direction that you start walking in, or
No, I think people have pointed out where the ocean is and where the river is, and if they're on opposite sides, and he knows, he generally I think knows where north is for now while he's in town, and he's gonna
Mhm.
set out. He might get lost, but he's gonna set out north through the wilderness.
Okay, you don't know which way north is. You've vaguely got. I mean, you've got your map.
Okay,
North would be up, but like you step out onto the road
okay,
that you came in on. I mean,
all right.
do you take a left or a right off of the road? I guess that's what
I'm
I need
taking
to
a
know
left
practice.
off of the road,
That's
and that should take me north because the road heads towards the river.
okay. Yeah, you head toward. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So you head, north, roughly. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
you're after maybe an hour or so trudging through the woods. You're not making super good progress. You're able to sort out by a glimpse of the sun through a clearing that you're probably heading roughly north. I mean, the sun goes
Okay.
rises in the east and sets in the west, and it looks like the angle's increasing. And you're smart enough to work. Okay, you are heading to like the north quadrant. The road, which also heads north, is diverting towards the east from you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're verifying that your map is roughly accurate. You're traveling roughly north
Mm-hmm.
through the woods. Again, like I said, you're not making it's. I mean, you out a little ways outside of town. You can make some progress, but then there's woods, so your pace is slowed.
It's
You
okay.
got some woodsy background music going.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, actually, not that much in the wilderness. I think. Let me just roll one check. Okay. What do you find? I think you roll a perception check.
Excellent. 27. Doesn't make the
Nice.
noise. It doesn't make. Oh God, what have I
Okay.
done? I hit the
Okay.
wrong button.
All right. So you're so like I said, the terrain was difficult. The going was slow initially,
Mm-hmm.
but you stuck through it after. I mean, it's stuck through it after an hour or two, and then the woods thinned out sooner than you were expected, and you find yourself realizing you're kind of on the outskirts of farm. So you're on like the border of the woods. You like
Mm-hmm.
track through it a bit, and then you break through, and you can like spot farms off in the distance, off to the east. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you probably just are catching sight. Maybe you find a vantage on a hill, and you're just catching sight of the lake. Um,
Hmm.
to the pretty much due north of where you are.
Okay.
So take with that what you will. But you do. I mean, you pass your perception check. Wait, right? It's that 27. I don't, what was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
second?
I was just trying to figure out why it's not making the rolling noise. The whoop.
Yeah, yeah. You notice something peculiar off into the deeper into the woods. You get the sense of you're being watched, and you look over there, and there's a hound sitting atop a hill, like under the shade of an evergreen tree, sort of staring in your direction. It's like sitting on its paunches. It's maybe a half mile off. Um,
That's unusual. Leon thinks
yeah,
to himself.
yeah.
He will walk in the direction of the hound.
Um, sure. If you just casually walk towards it, you'll maybe close half the distance, and it stands up and disappears into the thicket of the forest. I mean, would you try to like go
Yeah.
off, start a chase,
I don't want to
or is
run after it. So in Leon's mind, this is like a sign that this hound is going to lead him to the druids. So he's not going to like. He will run after it if it if that's the only way to keep up with it. But in his mind, like all he's got to do is go a little farther and catch sight of it, and like maybe it's going to lead him somewhere. So he is going to just follow and maybe jog or run to a point where hopefully he can get a sight of it and then stop and like creep after it or follow it at a gentle pace.
So you do you do run,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
you see it turn. Okay.
Well, if it's a half mile, then it'll probably take a jog to get there.
So you close it to a quarter. I said you closed half that distance. So a quarter mile is about 1,000, 2,000 feet. I think it's quite a bit faster than you, but if you start running, you can try. So you
Sure,
go
I'll run
across
then.
the hill, and that'll at least give you a shot at noticing it or at tracking it or something. So why don't you roll a perception check? It's going to be pretty tough to.
30.
Well,
Is 30 good enough to follow it?
yeah. So you jog and you make your way to the tree that it was sitting under. That like the hill across the valley that you were that he was sort of watching you from. And you can, and you can catch a glimpse of where it is deeper into the woods. But it's probably how fast do dogs move in this
Movement
game.
rate of a dog.
Do you have any chance of catching it? I guess is what I'm wondering. Even if you can keep sight of it.
Wild dogs have 15 movement, but everyone else has 12.
No, it looks like it's it looks like it's it looks like some kind of hound, like a dog that would be kept as a pet or like bred for.
That's the impression I got from you saying hound.
It's not a wolf, and it's not moving at movement rate 15. No, you're able to keep pace with it, and if you're running, you think that you could run it down if you exerted yourself. I mean, I
don't want to run it down. I want to follow it.
Okay. I mean, I guess you got a 30 on your perception check.
Yeah.
So you can follow it deeper into the woods. I think. I think you you accidentally catch it. I mean, or close some distance with it. Like you, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Running after it, and you see the dog sort of turn around, disappear into a thicket, thinking that it's thinking that it's eluded you, and then it takes a position on the top of a hill to try and figure out where you are. Not realizing that it's being watched. You can try and take advantage of the situation and actually hide, or so yeah.
No, I will press the follow because Leon quite probably incorrectly thinks that this dog is leading him somewhere intentionally. So he's not trying to catch it and capture it. He just wants to follow it and see where it goes.
Yeah. So you spot it disappear into this thicket, and then I guess you move closer. I don't know if you.
I'll move through the thicket. Maybe the thicket is the thing he's leading me to, for all I know. So I definitely go into the thicket.
Okay, you go into the thicket, and you find pushing through bushes. You find yourself coming to a large stone, atop which the dog has perched, and it looked like it came here to get a high vantage out over, trying, I don't know, keep lose you and then keep an eye on you, but
right,
you outsmarted the hound, and
I hope so.
Taking the jump on. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm gonna. Yeah, he you shock the dog. You don't surprise the dog, but it looks down at you from atop the stone. It's a good. I don't know. It's got high ground. Its head is probably above yours.
Okay, well, I'll look at the dog for a moment and then look down at my feet and around the thicket, see if there's something else going on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll some kind of morale check or something. So you accidentally corner this I almost called it a beast, but I don't know what.
Dogs can be beastly.
Looking at face to face, it's no. It looks fairly well. I mean, it looks like a someone's prized. I mean, I don't know what Leon knows about dogs, but this like yeah. I mean, most of your experience has probably been like street dogs and Seagate, but this looks like some like prized hound that you would have seen a noble touting around.
Mm-hmm.
No wolf. It doesn't look like a wild dog. It looks like someone's pet, but you notice no collar. I'm trying to pull up my Regal Goblin's reaction adjust table to tell you whether this dog is growling or whatnot. But you can feel free to let me know any action or how you're approaching it.
I would like to just take a glance around the thicket, look at the ground at my feet. Maybe move aside any like large branches near me. See, is there something here?
You are in the branch. Like you always do this, and I hate using like analogies from like references that no one else would get. But I'm like lizard mouth. You know how all those like oaks grow up against like the big sandstone boulders.
Yeah.
And think if you were like going through that thicket, and like you come to the boulder. Mm-hmm. So you're in bush. You're
right.
Your movement slowed, and there all of a sudden you're like, whoa, hey, there's you couldn't see it because your view was obstructed, and you're like, oh, hey, here's this giant stone, and the dog, I don't know, 3 to 5 feet above your head.
Got it.
So there's no way. I mean, like, yeah.
So I'll just squat down for a moment and move some bushes around, or kick my feet to see if I'm feeling anything that seems out of place, like I don't know. A trap door, I think, is probably what Leon would be looking for out here, which is...
All right, yeah, you can roll a perception check or something while I roll. So you sound pretty
26.
Indifferent.
I just want to check this location before I... Yeah, I am indifferent to the dog, if that's what you're going for.
So it stares at you. I mean, it's up on all fours now, looking at you very intently. It is not making a sound. It's not. Right. Well, it's not growling. It's almost eerily quiet. Like this. Yeah, you would expect a dog to bark or to growl, or it looks at you.
I'll push myself up against this large rock and start skirting around it counterclockwise to see how the hell the dog got up here, and maybe follow it up the rock.
So is that your perception check?
Yes, the 26.
Okay, you see no obvious traps or anything, but as everything appears pretty normal. In fact, it almost would have seemed like natural, except on second inspection. I mean, you're pretty sure that this is worked stone. It's
the rock in front of me.
It's heavily weathered, but it's a sheer face. Like that does. And then as you were circling around it, you come around like a corner.
Ooh.
And as to whether you could easily reach your hands up and pull yourself atop it, but like the dog,
how the dog get up?
Hot. I mean, you're.
If it's a shirt,
I don't know. I mean, it's how did the dog get up?
Yeah, so Leon's gonna circle strafe it.
Maybe it could have jumped. I mean, you're able to pull yourself up there.
Maybe, but like this is the wild world of druids and magic and shit.
Yeah,
Leon.
What do you do? So you can start. You put your hands on the stone, and the dog is looking like face to face. It's actually, I mean, that's got to be pretty terrifying, right? This dog's head is like as big as yours, except its brain must be much smaller. It's all jaw muscles, right? So it could fit your face in its mouth, and it's a foot from you. You're gonna like pull up into this dog's square.
No, I don't want to pull up. I want to go around the square.
Yeah.
I want to go around the stone.
The dog sort of circles around the stone to like stop wherever you're attempting to. You know what I mean? Like it's there. Like it circles the stone with you, and like you can. I don't know. Like I said, you were able to lay hands on it, but you would have had to like mechanically like squeeze yourself into a potentially hostile square. Which is fine. I mean, that'll like open up. Like the dog could take an attack of opportunity if it wanted to. I mean, yeah. But for the time being, he appears to be neutral to your presence. Although certainly.
Well, I want to circle. I want to just like edge around the rock.
How long do you play this dance? Like how long?
I was expecting the rock to be a fairly small thing. How big is it?
Okay. It's I mean, you can circle the rock in probably a minute or two.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. I just want to first circle the rock and get get an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, it's roughly rectangular. Yeah, actually, it seems like maybe a prism, or maybe it goes deep, but it's, I don't know, say 20 feet long and just under 10 feet in the shorter dimension.
Okay.
And I don't know what is that, like 7 feet high, buried in the dirt.
And is it just is it a cube all the way around, or is it a how many sides does it have?
Four from like four. Like it
Okay.
seems like it's got two long. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a rectangle.
It's roughly rectangular. But
there's no clear like steps, so the dog must have climbed or jumped or done something.
Yeah, and you so as you circle it to inspect this, the dog sort of circles the top of the rectangle and keeps it. I mean, yeah, it basically mirrors your movement, sort of staring at you the whole time, as if a guard dog on duty or something.
Right. All right.
And is still yet to. Well. Oh yeah, So you do one lap of the stone.
Just one for now.
Continue inspecting. Okay.
Well, I just do one for now. I'm thinking about what Leon's next action is. This stone looks worked. The dog literally led me to this and climbed up on it, and he's intently following me. I'm getting the impression that if I made some sort of sudden or aggressive movement, he would defend this place. That's kind of the impression I've gotten from it so far. So I want to... I'm a little worried about the dog attacking me. Don't really want to be bitten by a dog in the middle of nowhere. I want to take a moment and inspect the stone more carefully. I want to see if I can make out any of the signs or symbols. You said there were like maybe some engravings and it's been weather worn. So I want to see if I can find anything on the stone that stands out to me.
Do you have any relevant proficiencies?
I have reading and writing, and I have thieves' cant.
Okay, so you could read anything that was carved into the stone if there were anything.
Right, and with thieves' cant, I might maybe understand some like small symbology, or be at least not useful, not to understand the meaning of the symbol, but to be like, this is like clearly a marker that probably has some specific meaning that I don't know.
There's nothing of the sort. To your vision, this is a sheer worked stone. By relevant proficiencies, I mean something like stone masonry would be more appropriate.
Right.
Unfortunately, and if you'd like, you can roll like at -5 or whatever on any relevant respect.
Okay.
I think stone masonry would be strength, so strength at -5.
Sure.
You could conceivably come up with like I don't know.
I will do that. Leon's strength is 15. 23 for his stone masonry check.
Yeah, so I think you circle around it another time, sort of inspecting the craftsmanship of the stone. I think you sort of stay probably crouched, looking at the dog occasionally as you go the whole, like you don't, don't get too close. But yeah, it appears to be smooth worked stone. Like it seems like it was carved into this giant rectangular prism shape. And it's partially been submerged. I mean, you don't know if it started out like this. But the edges are a little rounded out. You're not sure if it started like that or if it's been weathered.
Clearly, but there's nothing on the outside that is a method of communication or like a place to push or
unless you missed any secret messages. No, it's almost. It's unnaturally.
All right. Well, then Leon
unnaturally geometric, I guess.
Leon's gonna reach his hands up to the top and try and pull himself up onto the stone. Slowly.
Yeah, you find yourself face to face with the dog, which sort of I guess halfway through your pull up, it reacts sort of startlingly and leaps backwards a couple of. I don't know if this would change what you're doing.
Nope. Keep going.
Okay, so you pull yourself up as the dog begins to howl. This way, it sits back, like leaps to the opposite end of the stone and kicks its head back and starts.
That can only be a good sign. I scramble up quickly.
So the top of the stone is roughly sheer, although not necessarily like perpendicular to the ground. Right, it's slightly sloped, which sort of throws you off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able, yeah, but it's flat like the other faces. There's nothing up here except for you and this now howling hound.
Mm-hmm.
You're maybe 10 feet from it. What does Leon do? Not exactly like a wolf's howl. Think of maybe like a baying. It's the more appropriate, but its pitch is
right
modulating. But it's wailing as it's sitting. Yeah.
You said there's nothing on the top of this. There's not like a secret stair. There's not like a staircase or an entryway.
No, it's as smooth as the other faces.
Leon gets pissed, thinking that he was following some dog that was going to lead him to a druid circle, and it's instead just this random rock out in the middle of nowhere. He chants the words and closes his eyes as he casts a shocking grasp spell.
Oh no, Neal! Oh no! All right. You surprised me. I was about ready to have the dog start barking, but you surprised even me. The dog is not surprised, but I think I'll let you get an ambush round. Oh,
I'm just casting a spell.
Let's roll initiative.
Okay.
Let's roll initiative and maybe switch to some more
combat heavy music.
Yeah.
D10 plus shocking grasp. Where is... Oh, spells are still loading.
So yeah, roll. Actually, should we go to a break?
Or... we can do that if you want. Yeah.
Or do you want to roll initiative before or after the break?
I've rolled a 10 for initiative.
Okay. Let's go to the break, and I'll tell you what happens.
We'll see you guys in a few minutes on the other side of our break. Bye bye.